When we reach the Imperial City, we'll have a whole host of new problems. You have to love a challenge. Always happy to help.
What? What do you want? Why does it matter? I was born by my mother and sucked at her teat like every man. Well, like every man does with his mother. Anyway, by the time I was old enough to swing an axe, my father was dead and my mother disowned me. Of course, killing my father might have given her reason. I think she did it out of shame. My father beat me and my brother senseless, and made our lives miserable. Either way, that was the end of my childhood. I traveled a lot after that, begging for some things and taking the rest. Tough times, but not the worst. My axes and my wits kept me alive. Yeah. I had some wits before I got them all knocked out of me. Mostly I just used my axes and my fists. You'd think a 7-year-old might be an easy target, but I soon learned just where to cut a man to make him squeal like a pig. Ah, those were the days. No, we got better things to do right now. Maybe I'll feel like talking after I've bloodied up my axes a few more times. What are you asking me for? You've got everything you need to make that flying machine go. So, let's go already. I'm looking forward to getting to the Imperial City. They've got the cheapest wine in all the Empire. And plenty of it. Meh.
That's it! You have everything you need. Just let me know when you want to go, and we'll set the marvelous dragonfly to flight. I think we're waiting around for nothing. We have the inscrutable power source, the wind map, and the flyer. The Imperial City won't fly its way to us. Well, of course. But time is better spent doing than talking. I found my way to Tien's Landing quite by accident. A very big accident. A few wealthy merchants lost some, property, and I almost lost my hat and my head. Gao the Greater heard about my inventions and bribed some officials to effect my release. I thought I had found a nice rich benefactor, but I was locked away in his lair. He gave me a nice workshop, but he really was a fool. I showed him my wind map. He didn't care where it led. He was only interested in his slaves. It shows where I've been, not where I'm going, I think. I made it on my journey to, here. But I don't quite remember where I was traveling from. Not good. It seems to me I left something, a clue for myself, but I'm not sure why I'd need to. I don't suppose you'd be interested in taking a short trip back the way I came? Well, let's see then. It must lead to where I was last, which would be the ideal place to go first. Keep an eye out. I don't know why my tracks were covered, but I do tend to incur the occasional death threat. Craters are remarkably unappreciated. This looks familiar. Keep going. I have the urge to build something. There are memories in the route we are flying. Keep going. I see patterns, schematics. Keep going. I'll hammer it out. Almost there. Just a few more pieces to figure out. Our flight was great fun. Lots of explosions. But what does it mean? I think it's a clue. I hid something in my head because I was going to lose my memory, I think. One thing for certain, there was no destination. We ended where we began. The route was the important part. Let me show you what it inspired me to make. I'm not sure what it is, but it has a lever on it that is begging to be pulled. Here we go. And nothing. Right? We're not dead, I think. That is decidedly disappointing. I was expecting something. I must still need a part I can't remember. I need some time to think, to get my brain straightened out. This is most intriguing and infuriating. Give me some time. Well, of course. Good. My beautiful dragonfly will finally get a real test. Let's hope those modifications hold up. Something.
Have you seen anyone matching the description? The Lotus assassins are getting impatient.
They were very vague and wouldn't answer my questions. Are they even sure of who they are looking for?
Does it matter? Death's Hand himself seeks this one. Do you need any more incentive than that? Just question everyone. This person apparently caused a lot of damage in the south. Here, what about this one? At least it's a man, like they said. You, identify yourself.
By order of the Emperor and the Lotus Assassins, state your name and purpose for being in the Imperial City.
We are questioning everyone who has arrived in the city recently. You bear a resemblance to someone we are looking for.
I don't know. The shaved head and impressive build are similar. It's not enough to be sure.
We could hold him anyway. It's not a good match, but the Lotus Assassins would leave us be for a few days while they question him.
Is there a problem here, Captain? Well, is there?
No, Princess Leanne. We were questioning this traveler by order of the Lotus Assassins.
There is no need to pursue this questioning any further. You may go.
My apologies, Princess, but I was ordered to detain anyone even vaguely matching.
Captain, this man is here on a personal matter of mine that does not concern you. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Princess Leanne.
Then unless you wish to be transferred to the wall, you will leave and continue your search. Well, we meet again. I've watched your progress. It seems I underestimated you in Tian's Landing. I have no doubt that you will make as much of an impact on the Imperial City. You claim great familiarity by calling me by my childhood nickname. All who know me here address me as Princess Leanne the Heavenly Lily. It is, as you can see, customary to bow in my presence. I think you are a little too bold for your own good, but I suppose it is my fault. I go out of my way to avoid fawning servants. That is why I often travel without official escort, and occasionally present myself as someone less bridled by the rules of the court. You understand why I don't go into detail here in the street, don't you? With what I have to tell you, I don't want to lose that option of disguise. The whims of a member of the Imperial Court are not your concern. There are more important things that we need to discuss in private. I will not speak the location aloud. Take this note. We will meet nearby. But I must have a moment to acquire more fitting attire. That is quite enough. We will continue this at a later time. We both have questions that we will need answered. I'm certain that my entourage would prefer that this take place in private. Your gruff nature is a bit too much for them. You are incorrigible. Get up, you lot. I'll be embarrassed for myself, thank you. Save your false modesty for my father's court. Don't be too long. My message concerns your master, and time is very important.
It would not have been proper for her to award it to you herself, but Princess Sun Lian requests that you accept this gift. She looks forward to your next meeting.
I've never seen anyone dare to say so much against the royal family and live to walk away. The distress you caused her handlers was a wonder to behold. Here, friend, take this with my compliments. I've never seen such a thing.
I can't believe my luck. I arrive home after being lost, only to find that my wife has gone off to visit relatives. No, you misunderstand me. My wife, she's not here. I thought I was as good as dead. Now my execution is delayed. Until her eventual return, of course. We made it this far. How hard can it be from here? From what I've seen, you're more than capable of handling anything we're likely to encounter. As I mentioned, I am but a simple bun master, with a dear wife who has turned my life into a miserable cesspool devoid of humor and excitement. Bless her soul. My wife ensures that I work very hard every day to become the best bun master in the Imperial City, perhaps the best in all the Empire. Though I was one of the most respected fighters in the Empire before I met my precious bride, she made sure that I became something more, or less. As I mentioned before, my style requires that I drink. She detests drinking, though there are things she detests even more, like talk of us separating. My loving wife would knead me into several small dumplings and boil me in hot oil if she suspected I was even speaking to you about leaving her. Life is not all bad, though. I may have lost all my dignity and self-respect, along with my ability to fight, or even make a tight fist. But I am a bun master of some renown. Oh yes, I'm very proud of that. Indeed, something very useful. Buns, that is. Everybody needs them. Oh yes, very proud. Like many things in my life, it can be traced back to very bad luck on my part. As I mentioned once before, I was a master of the drunken master style. I was the tournament champion in Phoenix Gate when things spun out of control. My need for wine took its toll on my body. There are long periods I don't even remember. After one such period, I came to, having lost most of my clothes and all my money. I was destitute, and without the ability to buy more wine, I couldn't even fight. Eventually, I found work cleaning out creature cages at the local arena. One day, I was approached by a man who remembered seeing me fight. He offered to sponsor me. Just like that, I was back in the ring. After climbing my way back to the top of the tournament, my sponsor told me it was time to fulfill my end of the bargain. Apparently, the agreement stipulated that I must marry his niece. If only I had read the agreement more closely, I could still be shoveling dirt in the creature cages. Alas, fate had a crueler path in mind for me. Let that be a lesson for you. Always read the fine print, or you may end up with more than you bargained for. As you say, I will be...
Always happy to help. What do you need? I haven't been to the Imperial City in a while. I traveled here some time ago in my hunt for Gao. In fact, this is where the hunt began. I've come full circle, and I think it's time to let go of the past and look forward. We have exciting things ahead of us. There's no point in living in the past either. In my heart, I know my daughter rests as easily as any spirit now. Whatever happens, I have that. And if we succeed, I know she finds peace. If I could go back, I don't know if I would. I'm a different man now, and while I treasure the past, I look forward to the future with the same warmth. Bah, we'll find a way through any troubles. We're too resourceful to roll over and die. I'm excited to be back in the city. It feels like we're one step closer to our goal, but you know that better than anyone. You brought us to this point after all. Who else could have gathered this crew or found such a quick way out of Tien's Landing? How do you manage that kind of humility? Some sort of special training? It's good to see you still have a sense of humor. Some people mistake dry and boring for humble, and that's simply no fun. Given what we face, we need all the laughter we can get. Regardless, we have an empire to shake up. Let's go see how much trouble we can cause. Of course, I'll be...
I trust your plans go well, despite the dangers you face and inflict. Is there something I can do for you? That is an old wound. My departure from the Lotus Assassins was not gentle for either side. My immediate companions, those who were my brothers, fell by my hand.
Lim was not among them. He would have died if he was. I was labeled as the one who deserted, and I am occasionally recognized. The result is always the same. Another death, more blood spilled. Such a waste for a hatred they cannot even understand. Regret. I have no regret for killing anyone who challenged me of their own will. Death is a measurable cost of your actions. Some earn it sooner than others. Strength is the way of things, and death is the end. Or should be. Some do not respect either. They have enough of one to defy the other.
There is a place for the enforcer. The man or woman who brings death to those who have earned or otherwise deserve it. I consider that to be an honest calling.
I did some harsh things while with the Lotus Assassins, but they no longer follow a path I recognize. They are a mirror of Death's hand, and he embodies corruption. You will see as you get close to him. He draws out the worst in everyone and displays it for all to see. Ignorance does not make truth go away. It only hides it. Perhaps we will talk again when I see more of where your path will lead you. For now, you should continue your search for a means to reach the palace. Your master will be waiting.
Goodbye.
There is something here. Some evil thing has happened here. It beats on my mind, and the Guardian, he can't hold it back.
You can't stop me from being here. I may not be able to leave, but I can talk and see. I see you, mortal. I've been watching you. Ha! I am Yazen, the other of whom Chaika and this girl speak. They have suppressed me ever since we inhabited this body, but this place is different. The evil around me has given me strength, for now at least, and has opened potential doors. I don't claim to goodness, mortal. I hate your kind. But we can work together. If you help me, I shall help you. And I'll be much more valuable than the Guardian. You're passing up the chance for greatness, mortal. We both know you're tempted. How can you... What? No! Chaika! You won't make me go so easily! No!
Wow, okawunir inatir nofun. Panir shakir wow sir nikorpak.
I'm sorry. We were fighting again. I'll be alright. Soon. Just give me time and I'll be alright.
What? What do you want? Well, the city has everything you could ever want. Fighting, money, wine, and something else that people like, but I can't quite remember what it is. Oh, well, I'm sure it'll come to me once I've had a few bowls of wine. Let's get something to wet our tongues. Women! That's the one I forgot. I must be getting sober if I'm forgetting that one. Whatever. What? I remember one time I was hired by two warring clans. They were going to discuss a peace treaty, and they wanted me to make sure things didn't get out of hand. A bunch of fights broke out in the first few days, but after I'd killed a few dozen of their clansmen, they settled down. That's when things got boring. The leaders took the next 3 days to talk, and if they hadn't let me dip into their wine stocks, I might have snapped sooner than I did. The clan leaders were agreed on peace except for one thing, Jinlo, a beautiful clanswoman. Both leaders wanted her and neither would give her up. After 5 days, it looked like the peace would fall apart. It looked like the two leaders were about to come to blows over Jinlo, so I stepped in. It was my job to stop them from fighting, so I cleaved the wench in two and told them each to take a half. Seemed like a good idea at the time. They weren't too happy with my decision. Everyone turned on me. Of course, they all died, but they gave it a good effort. I don't know what they were so upset about. Better a quick death by the sword than the prolonged agony of your heart being ripped from your chest and thrown to the dog. Whatever.
The Imperial City. I'd always heard how impressive it was. The stories didn't do it justice. This is all so much to absorb. I would appreciate your counsel if you have time to speak privately. I don't mean to distract you. I just wanted someone familiar around me for a moment, if only to reassure me that we are still in the Empire I thought I knew. I have long dreamed of reaching the Imperial City, but now that I have, under these circumstances, I am more overwhelmed than ever. But that's what is bothering me. We can't be a long way from home because our home is gone. I can no longer say that what I see is strange or foreign because I have lost what I would have compared it to. I am the one out of place now. I would like that, to know you will be there no matter what. I've never had that stability, at least not before joining the school. As a child, I was marked by ill omens, apparently named for them. The people in Two Rivers were polite, but many did not hide the discomfort I caused them. I was watched, studied. If someone's ox died within a season of me bumping my head, it was somehow my fault, and I was treated like a pariah. How do you deal with being able to sense the spirit world when people make such absurd conclusions? I cannot change who I am, I know. Perhaps I just have to let all of that go,